and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. My name is Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel, on Ravelry and Plurk, and show notes can be found at www.thefatsquirrel.com. This is episode 10. What up? 10! And today is April 30th. Ooh. Kind of knew what month it was for a second. Now it's going to be May, and I'll be confused again, but hey, whatever. Hey, hi, how are you? I apologize if last week I was super quiet and meek. That was not intentional. I hope I have the problem solved. We will see how it goes. But I think I have the problem solved for this week. So if there are any issues, please feel free to let me know. You can either put a note on the Ravelry or on the blog or whatever. Some people had some problems with the sound last week. I think I have resolved the issue. But if I haven't, feel free to beat me about the head with something. Virtually, of course. Anywho's, how are you? I'm doing really good. That's all there's to it, yo. Doing fine. This week has been the week of manna from heaven. Okay. It's been like the most gifty week ever. It's been crazy and exciting and wonderful and great. Yay! So, so many good things are happening. Let me just say that we have like more than 375 members in the Ravelry group. Shut up! It's true! You can go look! I do all the time. I'm not keeping track at all. Obsessively, crazily style. No! Oh no! But so that is so good, thank you. Having lots of activity on the messagey dues. It's very exciting. We have, there's like, I think there are 74 star ratings on iTunes. Yay! Thank you! I secretly think some of you are starring more than once, but I am not going to slap your hands because I think that's a great decision. Continue to do so, please, okay? So that is great. Then, other great stuff has happened. Let me just get into it. I have so much great stuff, I don't even know where to start. That's how much greatness there is. It's insane. Okay, so the first great thing... Okay, we'll do patterns first. Okay. So, the lovely... Can you see that? Ooh, I think you can see it. Look, it's sock monkey hats! How cute is that? The designer, Nicole, whose Ravelry name is Collie75. For a moment, I was going to call her Collie, and then I was like, dude, her name is Nicole. Hello. Although, watch it be Collie. I don't even know. No, it's really Collie, I'm sure. But look at her cute little pattern she made. This is her own pattern that she created with her own mind and hands and yarn. Look at it. It's a sock monkey for your head. And for your grown-up head, too, if you want to just roll that way. Let me just say, I think I will roll that way because I enjoy being ridiculous. This week, random story. This week, not that exciting, but exciting to me. This week, my daughter and I totally went to the park and played Frisbee. Let me just discuss. We have done this before. This is not like a new thing. We have not played this spring yet because it's been so, like, windy as crazy. And it was still windy and crazy. And there was exciting, like, UFO moments with the Frisbee where it would just, like, hover. Like light was going to shine down of it and suck, like, bugs up or something. I don't know. But so, that was super fun. And let me just say, I have never felt like I was a physically gifted person. I mean, I'm physically gifted in size. In the event of a famine, I'm living. But I've never been, like, physically gifted. Like, oh, I can coordinate and catch things. Ta-da-da. But then I had a kid. I was so crazy by my crazy teeth. I totally had a kid. And then I was like, well, I guess I should teach her how to do those things because you really don't innately know how to do them, as evidenced by my entire childhood. And so I was like, I guess I should teach her how to do those things because when she goes to gym class, I don't want her to be all like, you know, like I was, because that's a little embarrassing. So, like, we play basketball and football and stuff. And Frisbee. You know, you may want to just check out YouTube. I'm sure there's a video like, crazy fat lady plays Frisbee with child. Yeah. But let me just say, you should just go do it. Because I never thought I could do anything like that. I can totally catch a Frisbee. I can even catch a Frisbee tossed by a 5-year-old, which is kind of a feat. mean, let me just say, because that's a wild frisbee. It's everywhere. It's all over the place. Like this. It's so jazz hands. That made no sense, but that's okay. But so, that was awesome. And I think if I was wearing a sock monkey hat, I would definitely be on YouTube. So, I'm just saying. Check it out. But anyway, sidetrack. Surprise. And then, as if one great pattern was not enough for my week of joy, another one. And guess who it's by? Look. Feed bag turner into awesome baggerificy Preta. What's up with her? Do you see how cute she is? I don't know if you really went and looked at how cute she was when you like bought the feed bags. And by the way, you did buy them. Thank you. You bought a lot of them. But look how cute she is, by the way. She has goats and she's that cute. That's all I'm saying. So this is her beautiful shawl. K5 Smile. Thank you. By the way, I don't usually mention your first name unless it's on your Ravelry page, because I don't know if you're like super secret style, like, you know, clearly K5 Smile is in the witness protection program because she's a mafia informant or something. I don't know. So I don't mention your first name if it's not on there. So don't think I didn't think of you. Not you particularly, K5 Smile. I'm just saying in general. I don't think you'd be like, I'm just saying. But because I can't get enough of 2-color shawls, and now I have another one to do. Wasn't that so nice? Thank you. It's so fun to be me. And then, I know, right? You're like, what? There's more? Yes, there's more. Then, another one of our viewers, and by the way, could our viewers stop with their awesome craftiness? Shut-ta! I mean, I'm excited that anybody's watching this thing, but dude, talented people are watching it. I mean, I knew that because you're watching it and you're very talented, but I'm just saying, overall, talented people. So then, in the mail, I had like an epic mail day one day. It was crazy. So then, the beautiful, and I want to make sure I get her name right because she has a Ravelry shop and I don't want to jack it up. The beautiful Plover Bird. It's just the Plover Bird. Okay. Plover Bird, who is one of our viewers. Her Etsy shop is The Plover Bird. I'll link it, but you can look it right now. She contacted me and I was all like, I really love the show and I'd like to donate a prize. And I was all like, feel free, that's exciting for me. So what did she do? She donated a prize, and she donated a prize to me. So she sent these 2 bags. Look how cute, people. Look. Drawstringiness. Drink. Cuteness. Look at the blue one. Lined with polka dotted goodness. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you can really see how beautiful that is. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Like, cute project bags. They even have pockets in them. I'm amazed when people can put pockets in stuff, because I'm like, if I manage to stitch it together, it ain't get a pocket. But it even has like a little pocket in there. Shut up. Right? So she was all like, you can just choose the one you want, and then you can give the other one for a prize for the gratitude cow. And I was all like, oh. And so then I had this moment where I like had that mom voice in your head. Okay, this is the mom voice in another situation. Oh yeah, I totally made this fried chicken for everybody. And like, yeah, I did go to the grocery store for it, and yeah, I totally marinated overnight, and yeah, I did stand over a hot stove, and there was like spattering grease involved. I have a 3rd-degree burn on my collarbone, and I have ruined a whole tank top with grease stains, but no, really, you go ahead and pick whatever delicious piece of chicken you want, and I'll just hope that the one I love is left when you're all done. Did you do that? I do that stuff way too often, and in my old age, I'm deciding to stop doing it. That's what I'm gonna do. Because guess what? Then you don't get the piece of chicken you want, and you're like, oh great, I got a wing. For all the work. So, I do not put that much work into the podcast. Well, I kind of do. I won't lie. It's a little bit of an effort. So I'm going to pick the one I really want. They are both lovely. And if she would have said, this one's for you and that one's for them, I'd been like, oh, thank you. But she said, choose. There's a cart. I can provide evidence that she said I could choose. I want this one. Because you people get the lollipop yarn. It's these colors. It's orange and pink, which I didn't even know I love until these things started happening together in my life. And now it's like, so I'm taking this one. And then I'm gifting this one. She's gifting this one. I'm facilitating the gifting. Paisley, what is up? I love it. I love them both. I love the pink and orange one a little bit more, so I'm keeping it. And next time, I'm getting the first chicken breast. So take it. Put it in the bank. So thank you so much, Plover Bird. You're very happy, and you make my heart sing like a bird that is not in an alligator mouth, because that's what her little thingy do is on Ravelry. I love her. See, again, with the talented... Shut your faces. And then... Project Bag Mana from Heavenland 5000. Okay. The lovely Candyland, who is my benefactor. Du jour. Surprise! Lois of Knitting's My Bag, who is very talented and beautiful and is very well spoken of in all corners of the world. She caught... I just totally flung some cards across the room. Anyway, so Candy totally had her making me a bag, and then Lois totally sent me an email-y do thing and was like, would you like to pick your bag colors? And I was like, yes, sign me up. And so I did, and then she sent it to me in a very prompt manner. Get it? Are you ready for it? I want to curse really bad. It's so cute. I love it. Do you not love... I don't even know what style this owl is done in. It's like Mayan Candy 5000 owl. I don't even know what it is, but I love it. And let me just discuss. Again, much like the Plover Bird with stinking pockets. I can't turn hers out as outside in because hers is stiffeners in it, which is nice because it's like all rigidy and you can hold your stuff in there and it'll sit up. This is gonna be like a bigger project bag. The other one is like, ooh, schnook it and throw it in the bag, the purse. This one is gonna be like freestanding. But so look, it's got all the pockets around. What is up? I'm telling you, how exciting! Thank you so much, Candyland and Lois. I'm so excited. Because let me just discuss. I love the idea of project bags. They're beautiful and fun and great. And for people who have me, like me, who have the ADD of the knitting and have to have 7 things at once, it really does help. Because otherwise there are balls of yarn everywhere and they're getting tangled and the dog is chasing with them and it's a nightmare. And so, like, I bought several beautiful fabrics with which to make myself project bags because I do have a sewing machine and I can sew some stuff. I have yet to do it. Because I want to knit and spin. So thank you for gifting me. That was so exciting. It's like I get to have the gift bag, but I don't have to make it. It's so great. Oh, and then also, I'm telling you, this gratitude thing is working out for me. I just keep putting stuff out there like, I love this thing, and then this thing shows up. It's great. So then she also sent me a bag of stitch markers, and I've been like, I really need to get some of those stitch markers that don't have the thingy-do hanging down, because I have several of those, and while I love the thingy-do hanging down, I keep having to flip it around whenever I get there, and it gets a little annoying. So she sent me a bag, and I'm sorry, they're so tiny, which is awesome, and they're square and have a little bead on them, and she sent me a whole bag of them. I just flung them everywhere. Shoot. I'll pick this up in a minute. But how exciting is that? Then, I know you're like, shut up, I'm not even kidding you. Then my other favorite viewers, who are my parents, they totally came to town this week and stayed at a hotel, and my kid and I got to go swimming, which is so exciting for us. So we're like totally the poor white relations showing up to the hotel like we're in, what's that show? You know, All the Family Vacations, they have that cousin who like shows up in a mobile, not a mobile home, a RV. That was like us. We just like showed up in our flip-flops with our big bag, like, we clearly don't belong here. And we got to go swimming in their fancy hotel swimming pool, which was awesome. So, but in addition to that awesomeness, my parents were like, we want to contribute to your podcast. How cute are they? So they totally took me to my local yarn store, Mass Ave Knits, and hooked me up with some stuff. It's so exciting. The first thing, actually, this is the second thing I got, but I'll show it to you first. The County, I don't know how you say that. County, me. Effect Garn. Oh, I love those Europeans. Okay, yeah. because with like the Noro, you can't really tell. Now, unlike the Noro, these people are clever, and they send to the little shop owners like this awesome thing of dreadlocks, which has each little colorway and it shows you like the progression. So this one is like this beautiful smoky tealy purple, and then it has like this pop of bright green in there, which like apple green. Oh, it's gonna be exciting. So I've been coveting that for a long time and looking at it and touching it, but being like, oh, can't really buy that. It's not really necessary. And gifted. And then crapsicles. I mean carpsicles. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I just want to curse. So much joy. That's the other thing. I will tell you this right now. I do curse. I have a child, so I don't curse nearly as much as I used to. Because my child, I have friends that have children and they curse and their children don't curse, and they somehow make that work. It doesn't work for me. Because like when my child was 2, she started using the big dude curse word appropriately in conversation, and I was like, oh, I need to dial that back. I don't want to need to explain that to people. But I always curse in joy. I rarely curse in anger. Like when I'm angry, it's like, son of a biscuit! And I go like flustered and I start using all like the 80-year-old Southern grandmother curses. when I'm joyous and happy, I actually use the real big curse words. That's how I roll. But so look at this. Malabrigo. Oh, why am I not independently wealthy? This is too. Look at that. This is the Arroyo. Arroyo. You're probably supposed to roll that R. I can't do that. Arroyo. It is. It's totally like, okay, so some people think it's a DK, some people think it's a sport, whatever. It's gorgeous. Ah! I've knit one other thing with it. It was beautiful. And then I was all like, these were like in the little hanger things, and I was like, oh, those need to be together. Look at that. They love each other. They're getting busy with each other. So I'm totally gonna like, look at that. It's like the best cinnamon bun ever. So how awesome has my week been? It's been pretty stinking awesome. I mean, it's been cold and damp and icky here, but people have been sending me awesome prizes, awesomeness, which is so exciting. And then my kid developed a strange love of, what's that show? Man vs. Wild, with that very handsome bear fellow. Gosh, he's kind of attractive. That's not even my type, but ooh, he's cute. Anyway, she's developed a love for that show. So, like, I let her watch more TV than I would like to in my good mom head, but then the bad mom head is like, she's being quiet. And I'm like, oh, well, that's exciting. But she's not a huge TV consumer, but she has decided that she loves the Man vs. Wild, and so we've been watching a lot of that, and I've been knitting. It's been the best week ever. It's so exciting. And I'm like, it's kind of educational, right? It's like, I like, bust out a map every once in a while, like, this is where he is. He is in the Peruvian mountains of South America. No, that's our education for the day. Let's watch him eat something gross. He really, I could do without that gross out stuff, but whatever, it's part of the show. So it's been an awesome week. Thank you, everybody. I mean, really, I just can't say it enough. I mean, obviously, 19 minutes of thank you. I'm out of control. This is true. The gratitude cal is going on. Now we have an extra prize. We have the lollipop yarn. We have a hazel knit skein coming. And people are just, they're gratituding it up. I love it. I'm so excited. It's been awesome socks. So, now the knitting. Finished objects. I totally finished. They look kind of wonky, but they're not wonky on my feet. I just have wonky feet, so therefore the socks that fit over them probably look a little wonky. I totally finished. Afterthought heel. The Laura Linneman Afterthought heel. Only much shorter. I can't remember how, I can say this because it's free. I can't even remember, though, how much she says to, how deep to make the heel. But my heel is very broad and elephantine. So my heel is very much more shallow. Like you can see it. Like there's where the heel starts and there's where the decreases end. But that's what works for my foot, and that's all that matters. And this is in the very beautiful Stink. I wrote it down. I just don't know why I can't remember all of a sudden. La, 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 la. I'm so sorry. Marigold Jen, thank you. Sorry. Scranton colorway. She's going to be at Maryland Sheepman Wool if you're going, just saying. She has lots of pretty stuff. Okay, you can also find it in her Etsy store. She's very affordable. Okay. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot Etsy. Duh. Then, also in thank you, go back a folder. Also in thank you, Butterfly Bush. She's yet another talented viewer. Stink. Guys are making me look bad. The beautiful Butterfly Fish has totally offered a 10% discount to our viewers. Shut up! I'm not even kidding you. Let me give you the thingy-hoo so I don't mess it up. Butterfly 10. It runs through May 12th. Butterfly Bush. She's one of our viewers. She's in our group. You can say hi to her. She has a little doody-doo thread in case you forget the thingy, or because I may not put it. I guess I should still put it on the show notes. Whatever. Anyway, she's brilliant, and she, again, shaming me. She has yarn, roving, project bags, and stitch markers. She's out of control. I'm not even kidding you. Go check it out. Also, she's UKE, so if you're a UKE or European-y person, she has very inexpensive shipping. She has very inexpensive shipping to the US. Like, scandalously inexpensive. But she has very, very inexpensive shipping to the UK. So, if you're a UK person, totally check her out. Shut up. Prettiness. That's all I'm saying. Go snatch it up. Other people are already doing so. Okay, so, knitting. Finished object. Spinning. Finished objects. So, this was actually finished last week, but I remember I was all like, where is it? And it wasn't there. So, this is my loop bat. Shut your face. I know. Look at it. I mean, what is up with that sauce? I'll tell you. It's crazy cool. So, oh, I love it. I'm very excited by it. It's my only thing I've ever spun that I was really like, oh, that looks pretty good. That's silly, but it's true. I'm like, I'm going to knit something with that. So right now I'm trying to decide what to knit with it. I think I'm totally going to do Candy again. Gifted me that Zuni shawl pattern, which I think I even have that right here. Yes. This one. I think maybe it's happening. What do you think? It's side to side. So I'm a little freaked out by the symmetrical shape of the thing, but the asymmetrical colors. But I think it works because I'm just saying, it's like a moment of synergy because I was totally gifted that pattern and then I totally did this, which seems color appropriate. And then I'm reading a book called Turn Right at Machu Picchu. It's all about a fellow who's following the trail of the explorer whose name I can't even think about. Anyway, and I was just like, oh, synergistic experience is happening. I mean, I know that Zuni is not there, but you know, whatever. That was not meant to be culturally insensitive. That was just, whatever, I'm stupid. So, but I don't know, somehow in my head, they all tie together. And because there's pictures of the Machu Picchu, and they all have those ruins that are very, like, geometric and like that. So I know that that's not the same thing as Zuni. Nobody be offended by me. I mean, you can be, but I'm trying not to be. But that just, it all works in my head some way. So I think maybe I'm going to do it. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. Because I was like originally thinking about like the crescent shawl, like with the color progression being nice. But these colors just seem, they seem more angular to me. What do you, I think so. They seem more angular to me. So I think that's what's going to be. Then, random alpaca, as I discussed. Oh, by the way, that's Navajo plied. I got about 500 yards. It was 6.3 ounces. This is some random alpaca. It is a 2-ply, and it's like about 6-ish ounces, and it is 2-ply, 6-ish ounces. Oh, it's like about 350 yards, because alpaca's kind of dense, yo. So it's, I'm trying to show you the, like, look, it's even. I don't know why I have to show you that, because, like, ultimately you don't care. But I need to. The other one was too, though. I promise I already did it, but I'm not going to do it again. But it was. Trust me. So that was that. I totally had one half of that done last time. And then I had this moment where I was like, I need to work more on my, like, overstitchy weightness. Because, like, I'm getting good at the thin. I'm getting goodish. Not great, but goodish at the thin. need to work on the fatter weights. Boy, do I need to work on the fatter weight too. They are not nearly as consistent, but I still like it. This is some Cloud Lover. And I bought this like a gajillion years ago before I knew how to spin. I was like in this thing where I was making Waldorf dolls for my child who doesn't really like dolls. Duh. Anyway, I thought this would be perfect for its hair. I totally dig it. I literally have no idea how much yards. This is 2-ply. And literally have no idea how many yards it is because I didn't even check. But isn't it pretty? I totally like it. Fascinator. Anyhow. Yes. Okay, so that's finished objects. I know that seems like a lot of spinning, but that thing, the loop bat was already done. The alpaca was half done. So, and oh, I did it. And in works in progress spinning, I've left my bobbin over there because, but I am doing that because this will make it happen in my brain. That Leicester cross, which now I can't remember, Cormo Leicester cross that I got at the Fool Festival. It was 8 ounces of lanolin-y goodness. I'm saying 5.5-ish ounces done. So I'm just gonna make that a 2-ply. It's really weird to spin with lanolin in the yarn because I was like, oh yeah, I need to work on my fatter yarn. Not happening with this because with the lanolin, it's harder to draft. It's not the fiber. I mean, it's not the people's fault. It's not my filter or anything. It's just the lanolin makes it tackier. But I'm actually really liking it. Sorry, froggy. I'm really liking it because it is turning out fatter because of the lanolin. I think you don't have to put as much spin into it. So when I like do the practice things where I let it ply back up on itself, it's very like, even though the singles don't look very thick, it is going to be it's going to be uneven because it's kind of harder to spin. And I'm not a genius yet. I'm not ascended in my spinning to that place. But I think it's going to be fun, and I'm excited about doing like some kind of like Guernsey-ish wrap with like a cable in it somewhere. I don't know, that's what it's speaking to me in that manner. Like, I'm going to stand on the moor with wind whipping through my hair and wear it. Okay. So, works in progress. Actually, this is a hoe. It's a baby hoe. We gotta get it ass. This is totally afterthought. Phil, look at me. I'm on a roll. Laura Lemon. Yeah. This is with my Easter egg dyed yarn. So this is my kid's first sock. She chose the color progression. I would not have necessarily put yellow next to purple, but whatever. It works. In her head. So yay! I have started the second one. I didn't bring it over. I am like here on sock number 2. By the way, you should totally knit socks for kids. They're super fast. I was like, I don't want to knit her socks because she's going to lose them and like get them all gruddy and she's going to grow out of them in like 6 weeks. But it's still fun because you're like, sock. It's very awesome. So let me dig through some other stuff for some more works in progress. Oh, whoa. Speaking of our gratitude cow, like I did 10 minutes ago and you've already all forgotten. This is my color Affection, which I'm totally doing for my gratitude cow. Vera Valimaki. I remembered. For some reason in my head it's Mira Malamaki. What is that? Vera Valimaki makes much more sense, but not in my diseased mind. So I can't even show you because it's like it's on this tiny needle. That's not really a tiny needle, but it's so gigantic. Look at the screen. It's like I don't know how to read that. Anywho, I totally love it. By the way, I do understand. I did this out of Beaver Slide 2-ply sock, which is technically a sport weight, so I understand it's a little homier than the other ones, but I like it. So there's the progression. I am currently on the border. Shut up! I'm telling you. I was thankful for some bear, whatever his name is. So I'm currently on the border. Ooh, I only have like another inch to go. Ah! So excited. And let me just tell you, it's so not hard to be gratitudinous while you're knitting this yarn because, again, it's perfect. I will tell you this, if you're sensitive about knots in the yarn, Either get over it or don't buy this yarn. Now, I get angry when there's a knot in a color progression yarn and it jacks up the color progression, but usually I'm not real weirded out about knots unless there's like a lot of them, or sometimes in a sock yarn it's a little annoying. But this is super easy to just spit join because it just is. I don't know what to tell you. It just is. So there are knots in the skein. I don't want to have any sort of false advertising. However, it does not bother me enough to not buy the stupid yarn, because clearly I have this going. Guess what? I have enough to start a sweater, which I will be doing as soon as I cast this off. I'm not even kidding you. It's stinking like this yarn. So that's my color Affection. And then I totally cast on for Paula's Piper's Journey. And again, it's on a very short needle because it needs to be on this bigger needle, which is this is on. So, but this is how far I am. Great pattern. Clearly, everybody's making it as they should. So that is with the Beaver Slide Choke Cherry. I made my Laura Linneman's Mittens for Me with this. Oh, and the mink. So it's right here. And this, I think what's going to happen is that this is going to be the body of the shawl, and then I'm going to make this the lace, because it just happens that I have 2/3 of the whole, 1/3 of this makes 3/3, which is 1. I have an undergraduate degree in math. Ding! So I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm very excited for that. Yeah! So lovely pattern. Lovely Paula. Not a surprise. And with all that dickery-do and around with the edges you have to do on those other patterns, you don't have to do on Paula's, because she's very clever and made her edge so that it wouldn't do that, because she's a smart cookie. Speaking of Paula being a smart cookie, I totally forgot to mention something that Paula's a smart cookie about. Where are we at? Okay, we're at 32 minutes. Shoot, I was really going to try to keep this to 30. But this is literally the last thing I'll say. Okay. Paula, on her podcast, an episode or two ago, mentioned that she uses a little trick as a row counter. I don't know if you remember this last time. I was working on my color Affection, and I was using a row counter even though it was only 4 rows because I couldn't see the increases very clearly. And again, I put things out there that I want, and they come to me. Thank you, universe. Filled with awesome people. Paula was mentioning on her podcast that what she does is when she has like a thing like that, where you have like so many rows and then you have to do an increase again, that she just puts a little scrap yarn in contrasting color. She just lays it down between the stitches, and then you can very easily count how many rows are above that. Genius face. So really, all you have to do is count, because when you pull your knitting apart, there's the bars. So you just count the bars, and that tells you how many rows, if you're not familiar. So yeah, she's a genius. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And she did acknowledge that she may have not thought of that. Somebody else might have told her, but I'm giving it to her in my head. So yes, I think that's all. What else did I want to say? Beaver Slide Knots said that. Paula's Road Chick said that. Technical Issues mentioned that earlier. Gratitude Cal through June 3rd. I don't know if I said that. The Gratitude Cal is running through June 3rd. If you would please tag your projects with Fat Squirrel Gratitude. It is on the thread if you forget that or don't know how I spelled it or whatever. Fat Squirrel Gratitude. That way I can just look at them all obsessively and check on your progress. Not in like a scoldy way, just because I'm like, ee! That kind of way. So, I think that's all. Hopefully you can hear me this time. Yes! Okay. I hope you all have a really great week. I hope your gratitude knitting is going well. I hope your knitting is going well. I hope your yarn is going well. I hope your spinning is going well. Everything going well. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye! Oh, I don't have a mouse noise play. Bye again.